Maya. Hello, Zimbabwe. Salibonani. Makadi.
My name is Gertrude and welcome to another exciting episode of Women Running Business today. I'm so excited because I'm in a different environment altogether. Today I have Philippa Chengeta, who is one of the very rare women that we find in my circles. She's into horticulture and farming. Welcome to the program.
Thank you, Gertrude. You're looking good. You're looking just like
I'm into farming as well.
Yes, just like me.
Can you please tell us how you started this journey of farming and horticulture?
My parents, actually I owe it to my parents because as African parents with lots of children, we're 8 in our family.
Whoa.
As you can imagine, feeding that number of people is
Right.
a bit trying, a bit of a challenge. So we used to always be in the gardens, working the gardens to do maize, vegetables, to do all sorts of growing things. So that's where the passion was ignited and it's continued.
So when you were growing up, were you actually hands-on in this farming and plowing?
Used to be under duress. You know how
Okay.
it was. We always
Yes.
thought those people were like cruel, not even my parents.
And being a girl child, I think you wanted to do your makeup and everything else. So tell us about today's Kitchen and Home.
Today's Kitchen and Home is a organization of women. I met them on Facebook.
Right.
I met the owner, the founder, Uzillah. And for me, it was an initial thing was the testimonies I was seeing on the platform, as well as the things that they were doing. They were mentoring women in enhancing their homes, in finishing their homes, in doing things for themselves. And I got curious.
Right.
It's like curiosity killed the cat.
Mm-hmm.
But in this case, it actually helped me because I then found out that they were doing a lot of things that I was interested in. Being a mother, being a wife, being a woman.
Right.
So I wanted to be able to have my home looking good. I wanted to be able to do things for myself, to improve myself and things like that.
Right.
So that really was what attracted me to today's movement, Kitchen and Home.
What exactly pushed you to join them and to get to a level where you run a big business like this one?
I wanted a stove. That was the first thing.
Okay.
And from the stove, we moved on to other things because I started finishing the home.
All right.
And December last year is when they held their first business seminar for
Okay.
women. And we were the pioneers of that.
Wow.
And in that session, they talked about passion, women running business, how you don't want to just be a woman who's, like an asset at home.
Right.
Where you're basically relying on the husband to do the things that, to bring the food home.
So basically you were trained on how to run businesses.
Effectively, yes.
Right.
Yeah.
So what was your initial business? Because Philippa, it's not easy to just start a business, and there's a lot of misconception with a lot of women that you can't do something with little money.
I'm a vet by profession, so
Okay.
initially I actually thought I didn't need to run a business
Okay.
because I thought it was sufficient. But then, you start realizing that it's not enough, so you start doing things like I did some chickens, I've done, just small vegetable gardens and things like that, just to try and augment it. So when I then left formal employment in 2016, you start wondering, okay, so now that I don't have
What's next?
what's next?
Yeah.
So when they came along, it was just in time for me to be able to cement what I really wanted to try and do.
Right.
Yeah.
So you started ipapo with this greenhouse. Like,
No,
can you
no.
take us through your journey?
I didn't start with the greenhouse because obviously the greenhouse is a lot of money. We started off, if you look on the outside of this greenhouse, there's just lines out there where we're growing vegetables. We put lines in there with the drip, with just water.
Okay.
There's a well right there.
Okay.
And we used to go in there and pull mvura, to come and water the
Moto
crops.
Somoza.
Yes. So we were known as a vegetable place,
Okay.
for all the different vegetables. So that's how we started. And then as we grew, we started putting in the drip lines, to make it easier because, well and pulling off water.
It was
is
painful.
Very painful. And the people don't like that. As well.
Right.
The kids didn't like that. So we then moved on to the drip lines. we moved on and then went into the greenhouses. I have my parents to thank for the greenhouses because they also assisted because I wasn't able to actually be able to do them myself. One of them, these ones were costing about 5,000 plus or minus, all full setup.
But as a woman, Philippa, why did you choose horticulture and farming? I mean, pane zvinhu zvakawanda munhu zvaanokwanisa kuita unongona kusona, vamwe vari kutengesa mabhero, vamwe, you know, you can just get into other things. Why agriculture? And it's a male-dominated industry.
I love seeing things grow. I have a passion for freshness of things.
Okay.
And especially with vegetables, you know, I can't do that.
Okay.
But tomatoes as well. I mean, I like to grow the things that I eat, and I like to know that they're fresh. So that was one reason. And then the other thing is because having grown in a family that already has agriculture as a background, it's basically followed as a natural thing.
Okay.
So, you know, it
was simpler for you.
It was simpler, and it was something that I'm passionate about. Because now I can tell you a whole lot about agriculture.
What challenges have you faced in this project that you're doing in horticulture?
It's been a bit of an uphill. This place is a bit of a swampy area, especially in the back end of this greenhouse. So you tend to find that the plants don't like water, too much water.
All right.
So we had crops that failed.
And that would rot from the root.
Rotted from the root.
Okay.
Because of too much water. Remember when we had the rains?
Yes, yes.
December, January, I lost several crops there.
All right.
The markets have been a bit of an issue. You tend to find more of middlemen.
Right.
So you're basically giving your money to the middlemen because they then go in and put a markup on, and then
and then they get to the supermarkets.
So there is that as well. And then the supply of seeds on and off. Sometimes it's not available when you need it. But you then tend to find you can either substitute something if that is a possibility, or get a different variety and things like that. But mainly those are the challenges. The pests as well, as you can see, quite a few of them in there. We catch them because we don't want them.
I was about to ask you actually, Philippa, about chigubiji. You know, Philippa, zvinhu zvakawanda zviri kuitika muZimbabwe. And tinenge tichiti mimi panapa muri pahorticulture nei imi mutori neboys dzenyu dziri kukurimirai. What are these things that are in here?
These are fruit flies. We've got a trap in here. This is a homemade thing because the ones that are, the ones that they sell will be more or less the same, but obviously there's a cost to it. So we basically got the bait, and then we've got our own homemade thing.
All right.
So it attracts the little flies. These ones will eat our fruit.
Okay.
So we don't want them to eat the fruit. So that's what this is about.
Very cost effective.
Very. And it helps. It saves your crop.
That's Philippa Chengeta. Join us again in the second segment for more exciting, deep information about how to run a successful horticulture project. See you after the break. Welcome back to Women Running Business Today. I'm so excited, and hey, nasi program iri kunakidza. I've got Philippa Chengeta in the house. Philippa, chimbonde explainera kuti pamadomasi apa chii chinombonyatsoitika?
Kana ari kukura madomasi, the main thing is kutarisa kuona one fertilizing system yacho.
Okay.
Saka we have fertilizer programs that we follow, given from the agronomists. Saka anoiswa on a weekly basis, some of them on a daily basis, and as they grow, what is important is kutarisa mashizha acho. Okay. It's important kuona kuti haana pests, because kuseri uku ndokunowanzoita tumuka tuma aphids and things like that. Okay. Saka they're showing kuti they are quite healthy and haana fungus or other things like that. The other thing that we do is we spray fungicides as well as pesticides to try, to prevent all that. So scouting is on a daily basis.
So scouting is the actual looking at the leaf.
All right. All these things so that you can see kuti hapana zviri kuaffecta crop yako, because even ikafekta iri one, and you see there's quite a lot of the plants. Kana ikafekta iri one, because it's a closed area and it's quite compact.
Spread.
So you don't want to come in and hit it quickly.
Okay. Tell us, Philippa, tambo idzi.
Tambo is to trellising wires, like twine. So inoita kuti muti wedu umire zvakanaka, and it supports the plant so that haiende pasi, and more not, it's actually growing straight up. So ndo inobatsira izvozvo. Saka toita tichisumudza kuitira kuti pairi kukura tichitenderedza pa twine yacho kuitira kuti inyatsokura zvakanaka. This thing chinozosvika kana kunoko, because I am a variety anokura zvekuti anosvika kumusoro.
Okay. You spoke earlier on in our first segment that you plant different types of crops, more horticulture. What is the difference between having these tomatoes in this greenhouse and having the same tomatoes out in the open?
Wow. Okay.
Do you get like a different quality and mama diseases? Why did you choose Munom?
Yeah. This is a compact area, and it's in a better production, and you also you control a lot more things than you do outside.
All right.
Because outside you have a lot more like pests, diseases,
and birds.
Okay. And zvinourova nechando. In this time, especially in Chando Cherikwe Mazuano, having a greenhouse is God sent, because at least I have chando, unlike anenga panze. So that helps. And also the quality of the fruit is also quite better than what you get within the field. Inema keeping qualities are much better as well. Not too much of the external things affecting it.
Philippa, you spoke to us about the benefits that you got from Today's Kitchen and Home, how you joined the Facebook page, how you were able to furnish even your house. What other exposure have you given to yourself to grow in this business?
I've been to a couple of places. Internally, we've got some mentors who help us within the country. Right. But I've also taken a trip to Israel. One of the reasons being they're the people who, one of their companies provided this greenhouse. Okay. And, they're the gurus as far as horticulture, as far as drip irrigation, as far as agriculture is concerned. Right. You'll be surprised to know that Israel is a desert country. They get about 400, 500 milliliters
of rain a year.
Right. Yes. And yet the green irrigo, you won't even believe that it's a desert. So it's because they have manipulated and made a way to make sure that they have enough water within the small amount that they get. Right. They conserve it, they use it wisely. So I wanted to understand how, even within us, yes, we get a lot of rain, but I think we're actually wasting it instead of actually making use of it. Right. So why not go to a place where you can learn from the experts? There's no need to reinvent the wheel, by the way. So you basically, go in and learn from them and can adopt some things. I'm not saying I've got there yet, but it's work in progress.
We have Philippa Chengeta to those that are joining us home right now. Philippa, tell us a bit about the launch that happened on the 16th.
Oh, wow.
Yes, wow. I believe you were there since you're part of Today's Kitchen and Home. Can you tell us a bit about what happened there?
There was too many things. Which one do you want to know?
Everything.
Okay. Initially, the launch of the book, The Gift of a Woman, that was amazing. I mean, this is Uzillah's book, writing about the gift that is within a woman. Right. And, I've got the book and I read it. It talks about how you as a woman can incubate, can multitask, can produce, more things than we are actually thinking. We're limiting ourselves. Right. And that book is saying, you've got a gift. Put it out there and get to use it. Right. That was one. There were testimonies there. One of the other highlights that I had was the Women's Affairs, the Ministry of Women's Affairs. Okay. They also sent a representative. They were there. And the best part about that was they've opened the Women's Bank, specially for women. Wow. And guess who's coming into it?
Women.
Yes.
And we're going to be getting loans.
Yes. I need to expand this project. And I need to expand, but the funds are not there. But definitely the Women's Bank is God sent. Wow. So kudos to them.
Philippa, can you tell me also a bit about the other products that you farm right here? I understand you have a farm back in Mashingo. What do you farm ku Mashingo?
We've got Mombe, and we also have a bigger horticulture section. We're also doing the field crops. So it's a mixed farm, effectively. That's what it is. It's a family farm. And, I've basically said, look, let's go and make use of it as well.
Right.
And that's what we're doing there. On this end, on the back of the house, we've got mushrooms. I've got, the different crops, as you will see.
You told me that you are a family woman. How many kids do you have?
I have 3.
Do they assist you when it comes to farming or?
They do, under duress, but yes, they do.
Wow, that's really exciting. What message would you like to give the ordinary woman that's out there, who's watching, who's listening, if they also want to have, if they have a passion to be in business?
That's the first thing. The passion has to be there, because you want to be able to continue when things are not rosy.
Right.
You want to be able to continue when things are hard. I think the main thing is to get started.
Right.
There's no point in putting a plan in place and not actually carrying it forward. So whatever little you have, there's always something that somewhere you start somewhere. One of the things that Uzillah is always going on about is don't despise the
Humble beginnings.
Wherever you're starting with. She started with 200 rand and was buying sweets. That's an example of where we can start. I started with vegetables in the garden. I mean, your rep, your kovo, as a usual, normal garden, yekumba, but expanding it because you wanted to cater to the community.
Right.
And that way you're growing your money and you're growing, your business.
Right.
So you can start at whatever level.
Passion drives you to do anything, and passion and determination, hard work will lead you to the top. Today, we had Philippa Chengeta. Join me as I take my tour around this place, and maybe I can get a few of the lettuce and the tomatoes and maybe a basket of mushroom. Thank you for joining us. See you again.
A greenhouse here doing peppers, colored peppers, the red and the yellows and the nice ones. The green ones, yes, you can eat, but the better ones are the sweet ones, the yellows and the reds. So if you want to start this, yes, you can do them in the greenhouse. You can also do them outside. Normally you would get seedlings. The niggas are prepared already from the seed houses, and then you just come in and you plant that. If you notice, we have put in manure, one for mulching and also to add to the content here, the soil yellow. Yes, we still put in the fertilizer, the liquid fertilizer through the drip irrigation, and we're expecting a bumper harvest from this. These ones prefer warmth, so that's why they're, during the winter period when we had the seedlings, they struggled a little bit, but now they're coming up and looking good. So I am looking forward to great things from here. We've already got some flowers forming, as you can see from here. Some flowers are forming on the crops, and they're looking very healthy. Remember what we talked about scouting? We mentioned that you always need to make sure that there is nothing as far as disease is concerned. Your leaf must be showing you that it is healthy, it has enough water, it has enough chlorophyll, it is not pest ridden. When you want to check if your moisture levels are good, what you do is you can dig just a little bit near the crop. As you can see, it is actually quite moist, and ideally your soil should, if you hold it like this, and this is a bit too much because it's not meant to clamp up like that, but it's meant to be so that if you wumba it, if you make a ball of it, it should not be too hard, but just loose enough. The good thing about lettuce is it's a very versatile vegetable for your salads, and so we've done a little bit because our community doesn't really get a whole lot of it, but we like the lettuce, so it's for home consumption as well as
a few cells here and there. The good thing about lettuce is you can grow it, especially in the winter. So I did my own seedlings this time. Sometimes you can do that. Got my own seeds, and then when they were ready is when I put them in there. What I like is this is growing quite well. We've also put in some mulch. I believe in mulch because it helps, with the watering aspect. You're not going to be, losing water as much, and it also provides cover for the crops. In a couple of weeks, it will be just right. Nice and firm, nice and fresh, suitable for any salad. So I'll invite you for a salad. Initial mushroom or oyster mushroom substrate. This is spent, and what we're doing now is we want to create a compost heap. We value our organic farming, so we are creating our own manure. So this, we have been pulling up a lot of all the material for it, so we are adding this, the substrate, the spent substrate. So we're making it small so that it's easy to use when we eventually when we make up our compost. So this is what this is. It's a mixture of cotton seed and mashanga echibage. So besides the animals, besides the gardening, the farming that I do, I am an avid reader. I read all kinds of books. I love reading about successful people. So I will read about people who've done great things, not necessarily in the farming industry or in the farming world, but in different aspects, because business principles are similar across the world. So it's nice to be able to read about other people, how they overcame their challenges and things like that. So yes, I will read a lot. I also love dancing. I love traveling. I just love having a good time. I think I'm a people person. So yes, I will talk to you even if I don't really know you. I will strike up a conversation and we will take it from there. What else do I like doing? I love cooking. One of my hobbies is baking. I absolutely love baking, although I haven't done that in a while, so I need to get back into it because I've been a bit too busy. But generally I love who I've become. I love who I am. The traveling is my passion. I haven't done it for a bit now because I've been too busy, but as soon as I can, I plan to travel the world. I love personal development, so I will also seek out, people who are doing, just general personal development across the world, depending. So it's also on YouTube, on SoundCloud. I'll listen to people talking. I'll listen to other, local speakers, local entrepreneurs, because they've walked the talk and, they know what they're talking about. So, yeah, I like to grow that way as well. Thank you.
Passion drives you to do anything, and passion and determination, hard work, will lead you to the top. Today, we had Philippa Chengeta. Thank you for joining us. See you again next week.